What's up, YouTube? Scott Lett here, owner of Pro Exterior Cleaning. Over the past few days, I've had some guys message me wanting me to put together a video just talking about the equipment that I started with when I first started my business, and the equipment I have now, and then what I suggest you buy just to get started, just start making money, and that way you can start, producing revenue, upgrading your equipment, growing your business. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll show you guys my current residential setup, and then a setup that I recommend just to get you started. Yeah, so I've staged a few things just to show you what I have right now. This was my residential setup for smaller to mid-size residential jobs. I'm no longer doing residential work, so I'm going to use this for commercial as well. But this is a great setup for the residential world. You can make a lot of money. I'm going to kind of show you guys what you need to get started, okay? So this machine right here, this was my first ever pressure washer. It's a 3.3 gallon per minute machine. Made a lot of money with it, made it work. I would recommend a 4 gallon per minute machine. And this is the surface cleaner that I used with it. It's a 14-inch Whirlaway. I think I went through 3 or 4 of those, and this one still works. So if I ever surface clean with that machine, which is very rare, now that's the surface cleaner I use. But yeah, this is a great machine to get started. Like I said, it's a 3.3 gallon per minute. I would recommend a 4 gallon per minute. If you're using a 4 gallon per minute machine, you can get away with a 20-inch surface cleaner. You can go from a 14, 20 is probably the biggest. A lot of guys use 16-inch surface cleaners. Which I use this particular surface cleaner with my 4 gallon per minute belt drive water cannon. It's got a Honda GX 390 engine, and it's got a cat pump. I'll walk over there and show you guys. So for you guys who've been in the industry, for about a year or so, and you're looking to upgrade your equipment, this would be a good purchase. Maybe even a 5 gallon per minute machine, 5.5. Or you guys who are just getting started and you have, a little bit more money to spend, than the younger guys, this would be a great machine to start off with. So if you go with a direct drive or a belt drive, I would highly recommend at least a 4 gallon per minute machine. Like I said, this is 3.3. You can make it work, but you're not going to be able to use as big as a surface cleaner. That's the 14-inch is what worked the best with that machine. This is a 4 gallon per minute, so it pushes the 20-inch North Star there really well, and I've had a lot of success with it. So, the big differences between these two machines, obviously, is the gallons per minute. But this is a direct drive AAA pump, and this is a belt-driven pump, meaning that if I need to fill up that tank right there and connect it to this pressure washer, the belt-driven tank or pumps has the ability to suck water out of that tank. So, but if you wanted to use a tank with a direct drive, you would need that tank well above the pump, where it's a gravity-fed pump rather than the belt drive. It has the ability to pull that water. So, this machine here is about, I want to say right at $1,000, and then the water cannon belt driven machine is around 1,800. It's got a bigger engine, it's belt driven, it has a cat pump. Altogether this is just a way better machine. Also, it's 4 gallons per minute. So for you guys just starting, this would be a great machine. You can get the exact same machine at 4 gallons per minute. You guys who've been in the game for about a year, or you guys who have around 2 or 3 grand to spend, you have a little bit more money than most people. The belt drive, water cannon, 4 gallon per minute, cat pump, Honda engine, GX 390 would be a great purchase. So the way I explain this to people is, this is like buying an Apple computer. This is like buying an HP, because this is a better product. They're both going to work, great for a while, but eventually the direct drive pump is going to go out. The cat pumps with the belt drive feature, they just last longer. They're both Honda engines, so that's a good thing. So this is my second pump to put on this in 4 years, which isn't too bad. I've taken really good care of that pump and that machine, and this is more of a backup. I really don't use it that much, but out of these two, I definitely use the water cannon the most out of these two. Like I said, the Simpson is just more of a backup. All right, so what comes with a pressure washer when you buy it? So you get a wand about that size. You get a downstream injector for your applying your chemicals, downstreaming, and then you get 50 foot of high pressure hose. That hose came from my new 8 gallon per minute machine. So how much high pressure hose do I need? I keep around 200 feet on my truck. I have 100 feet over there on my hose reel. Have another, 150 feet right here. It's just good to have backups because they do bust, and you may get to a job where, you need to reach the back of a house, and 200 feet is probably good enough to reach back there. So you'll get a downstream injector, you'll get a 50 foot high pressure hose. You need to buy another 100 feet. You'll get a wand, and that's about it. And you'll get all the little nozzles, that come with the pressure washer. The surface cleaners are usually sold separate, but JN Equipment has pressure washing like starter packages where you can buy all of that plus a surface cleaner and some chemicals. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, let's go through here. This is a soft wash gun that I use. I got off Amazon for like 20 bucks. This is for soft washing. I can use it for downstreaming or an X-Jet. These are some J-rods I have for pulling chem. I can use this for downstreaming, which is nice to have. They can shoot a pretty good ways. They work well with the 3.3 and the 4. So this is an X-Jet nozzle, M5 X-Jet. It has the adjustable head on it. I don't know if I can do it with the... Yeah, I can't do it, but that adjusts inside there to where you can shoot a stream or you can shoot a fan. This is the reservoir you put your chemicals in, and this is the hose in here for the X-Jet. So I'm doing a soft wash. Since I don't have a 12 volt system in here, I use my X-Jet or I'll downstream. I very rarely downstream, but when I do, I just use that 5 gallon bucket, put it right there in the middle, hook up my downstream injector, and then hook this downstream injector like this in here, and then put this in right here inside the bucket, and then it'll pull chem. And you want to use your black nozzle that comes with your pressure washer, or you can use a J-rod. So you definitely need a pair of channel locks to switch out different fittings, plumbing tape, O-rings. O-rings are little rubber pieces you can find in your quick connects. They can break sometimes. You have to replace them. WD-40 for obvious reasons. You need about probably 150 foot of garden hose. I think that's like 50 feet there. I have some extras, and then I have another 150 feet on my commercial trailer. So for downstreaming, you have a downstream injector. An X-Jet is a great option. I even like this without hooking it up to the X-Jet hose. This is great for rinsing as well. So let's see. This is the degreaser I use if I get to a job and there's oil and grease stains on the driveway. I'll use this to remove those stains. For an indirect application, I'll mix it with some of this stuff. This is 10% sodium hypochlorite. You can buy 12.5 at a pool store. I have both. I have 10% and 12.5%. You mix these two things together to pre-treat, and that'll help with cleaning driveways. But this stuff's pretty good. And then obviously sodium hypochlorite is the go-to chem in this industry. So if you want to, you can. I put this yard sign out as I'm cleaning, at residential or even commercial jobs. It's got, my services, my name. I'm about to remove that and just put commercial because I have a new minimum now. If it's not, a $300 or more residential job, I'm not going to do it because I'm just trying to do commercial work now. But if you can, you know, a little bit later in your business, if you want to buy some magnets to advertise, that's always good. I've had people, you know, write down my number that are sitting next to me at a red light. You know, I've had people stop as I'm cleaning and write down my number off my yard sign here. So, what else can we talk about? I just bought a new ladder. This is a, how many feet is this? It's 370-pound capacity load. I'm 250, so I had to get something that is gonna hold my big tail up there. I think it's like a 28-footer, but it's heavy duty. I went and bought that today. So, you know, there's gonna be times you're gonna need a ladder. This is a 125-gallon buffer tank. You know, I have that for when, if I get to a job and the water pressure isn't sufficient enough to operate my 2 machines here, you know, I can just fill that up and, you know, work off the buffer tank, and the belt drive will suck that water out and I can continue with the job. I have a 5-gallon gas can here. I have a hose reel. Those are not really essential when you get started, but you know, they're gonna save you a lot of time in the field. The last thing you wanna do when you finish a job is have to roll up a bunch of hoses. So I have 3 on my commercial trailer, and then I have 1 back here. I do just, you know, roll up the garden hoses. They're a little bit easier to roll up than high pressure hoses. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, this is it. I mean, this is what I use now. You know, there's a lot of guys who get started who can have a pretty similar setup. You may not have 2 washers. You know, I have 4 now, you know, but it took me 4 years to get there. I've pretty much bought a new washer each year I've been in business. So, but this is my first machine. It's a Simpson 3.3 gallon per minute direct drive Honda engine AAA pump. I would recommend a 4 gallon per minute machine just to get started. And you can get a 14, a 16, or a 20 surface cleaner. Buy some chemicals. You can use a downstream injector or an X-Jet. You know, get some garden hose, high pressure hose. High pressure hose stay around the 200-foot range. You know, garden hose, you can get away with about 150 feet of that. Obviously, you need some chemicals. You know, eventually you can get some J-rods. You definitely need some hand tools, O-rings, plumbing tape, and then that's it, guys. You don't even have to have a tank necessarily, but if you have a direct drive and you get to a job and the water pressure isn't good enough to, you know, pump water into your pump, you may not be able to do the job. So that's why it's good to have the the belt-driven pressure washers. So if you can spend a little bit more money and push yourself to get the belt drive, it's going to last longer. You can have a tank to pull from, and they're just better machines altogether. So, and if you can get a pressure washer with a cat pump, you know, that's even better. Those are the best pumps out there, in my opinion. You know, for machines that are 4 gallons per minute or smaller, that's the cat pump there. If you can buy this machine here, guys, you're going to be making a lot of money. So I have a guy that I've helped start his business, and he went ahead and bought this machine, and he is killing it. So I've had 0 issues out of that machine. So that's probably the best 4 gallon per minute machine out there, in my opinion. All right, guys, so this is it. I mean, you know, just pretend that's not there, and if you just had this set up here with that machine or with that, you're gonna make some money. So just be sure to change your oil in your pump and your engine, you know, once a month if you're working quite a bit. Just keep up with your hours, you know, and just check your oil every day. Make that a good habit. That's gonna add to the longevity of the life of your pump and of your engine. And just take care of your machine. You know, treat them like your children. You know, take good care of them. So if this is your means of making money for your family, you know, you're only as good as your equipment. You know, after a year, evaluate your business, see how you're doing, and then upgrade. So, you know, this is my first machine. You know, this is a 3.3 gallon per minute, like I mentioned, 4 gallon per minute. I have a hot water pressure washer, and I have an 8 gallon per minute machine. It's taken me 4 years to get there. It just takes time, guys. So, but anyways, this is my encouragement to y'all. Just take your time. These are essentials you need to get started to be competitive. If all you can afford is a 3.3 gallon per minute machine, I wouldn't go any lower than that. And you can go out there and start making money. All right, guys. Scott Litt Pro Exterior Cleaning.